I like the idea of making records of the way we perform live, because the whole way we do that, the whole thing evolves, it changes. We don't go through the motions of just, playing the dots in the right order. We don't judge our live shows by how faithful a rendition they are of the tracks as they appear on the record or on the studio albums. So it's kind of nice to have records of that, and I think they are records in the kind of true sense of that word, whereas I think the studio albums take on a lot more than just a particular performance on a particular day in a studio. The live records are very much that. It's as it happened on that night. I don't want to go through and do kind of rehearse shows that are like cabaret. I don't want to get into that kind of situation. And unfortunately, the more musicians you bring in, the more it tends towards that, because you have to have people, you have to have some kind of sheet music, you have to have some kind of cues that people can follow. But I've been experimenting recently and trying to get people who are used to reading sheet music to play in a more improvised way, and we kind of achieved quite a lot of that at the Albert Hall. That particular show was quite an ambitious show with a full choir, a string section, a horn section. My dream is to get that kind of big band together like Duke Ellington or Sun Ra. We're going to start doing shows later this year. The plan is to do shows in cathedrals. Those shows came about through that collaboration with Steve Martin, who's an English composer, and we put together arrangements of some of the tracks from Ladies and Gentlemen, We're Floating in Space, and some of the choral pieces that we worked on. And it's kind of like a kind of Machau or Henry Purcell meets Brian Wilson or Van Dyke Parks or something. It's very very choral. Instead of using a gospel choir, we used a kind of, I guess, classical choir with countertenors and tenor voices and alto voices. So it was just a different way of playing those songs, a different way of making those songs work. I've always talked about our music being physical, and or all good music, all soul music, being physical, that you feel it in your spine, you feel it in the hairs in the back of your neck, or you feel it in your belly. And with the idea of carrying that through into live, so it's physical, it's more than just oral, it's it's visual. You can affect all the senses. It's not like making a studio record where that has to stand up to endless plays or whatever, and you can achieve anything in the studio. You're given time and resource, and live you have to get it right then and there. And I think that's what makes live so dynamic and exciting. I don't consider myself to be gifted, or I said before, I don't think that musicians are conduits for higher powers. I don't think they capture music, or I don't agree when, people like Keith Richards or Tom Waits or Van Morrison say that there's like this fourth dimension that's music and they capture the music. I think anybody can do it. It's combinatorial. There's 12 notes. But it's just combinations of those. Anybody can run combinations of those together. The next thing we were talking about was doing a show in Spiritualized, which is about 500 miles north of Norway, and that was a way of being able to do a show with the Northern Lights as the backdrop. People ask me about the artwork, like how you're going to do something better than the last artwork, and it's not necessarily better in that way. It's just doing things that fit with what we're doing. It's not like I want to tread water or go backwards, but I'm not looking to be ambitious just for the sake of being ambitious. I'm not looking to just be cleverer than I was before. I don't think it works like that.